5.6, Jack, you wanted to pull that?
Yeah, there were a couple of typos that I mentioned to staff that need to be corrected. The footer saying it's 2013, and a couple of details that I'd like added. There was, for example, a mention of the fact that the city keeps a list of commercial properties. With the revision of the website, it was actually really hard for me to find it. So if we include the link, that's, better. And overall, I'm interested in seeing a bit more detail. I'm not going to hold this up and not approve it, but there are things like on page 7 where we have the program description and then the housing program's progress report. And I understand that one of the things that we're doing here is we're talking about, kind of how we're giving an update in terms of how we comply. But this is under goal number 2, policy 2A1. Ensure that sufficient sites are zoned in the city to allow for development of the city's overall fair share allocation of regional affordable housing needs. And I asked staff a little bit about this, and there was a discussion about the fact that this is asking about the zoning and if there's adequate zoning. But I think that it behooves us to say that even though there may be adequate zoning, that isn't the tool that gets us to affordability. And so if I could just have that added, even if it feels like it's beyond the scope of the question, it's only because they're asking the wrong question. And so I just want to have the report reflect the kind of affordable housing crisis that we're in, and the need for Emeryville to look for new tools. And that's it.
Mayor, Jack, what is the language you want used, and where exactly would you
So this is on page 7, for example.
7 of 14?
It's on the second attachment, the annual element progress report. And it's in the table. And so on page 7, goal 2, policy 2A1, right? So ensure that sufficient sites are zoned in the city to allow for the development of the city's overall fair share allocation of regional affordable housing needs. And we can talk about what's being zoned, and we still know that we didn't meet our RENA numbers, right? And so if, that's not a failing on staff, right? That's a recognition that zoning doesn't solve the problem. So I just want a note there to recognize that we haven't met our housing goals, right? And that we're going to be looking for new tools to do that. That it's not, that zoning is not meeting our affordable housing needs.
If I could, the housing goals that we didn't meet are RENA's, not the city of Emeryville. These are housing goals that are imposed on the city of Emeryville by the regional housing, and we have protested them from time to time.
Well, but now you could protest that they're not even good enough. I mean, there's not deep enough affordability. Either way, we're not meeting them.
That's right.
And I think that one of the things that we need to signal is that what we're building up is an affordability deficit from year to year, right? As we miss the numbers.
I support that. So can staff work with that, with revising that wording?
We'll make those changes.
Oh, sure, we can make those. If you approve this report tonight with those changes, we'll certainly make those changes before we submit it to the state.
With that, I move the report.
Charlie, will there be any impact from the state with that kind of a change?
I don't think so.
I'd second your motion.
Okay.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that passes unanimously, and that takes us to the